Well, guys, today's Saturday, so you know what that means. Yep, that means that Toonami is happening on Adult Swim tonight. And that, of course, also means that Toonami will be airing their episode of Naruto Shippuden tonight. And this week's episode will be episode 483. I just finished watching the episode like a few minutes ago off my laptop, off the big screen TV out here. And I'll share my thoughts on it real quick. Spoiler alert, you have been warned. Okay, so let me start with my rating. My rating for the episode overall, I'll give it like a 7 or 8 out of 10. Like either a high 7 out of 10 or a low 8 out of 10. Still a pretty solid episode. That's why I'm giving it kind of a high score. Yeah, what's this episode about? Well, the title of this episode is Jiraiya and Kakashi. So that, of course, means this episode is all about the backstories of Jiraiya and Kakashi, with the first half focusing on Jiraiya's backstory and the second half focusing on Kakashi's backstory. And which of these two backstories do I prefer between the two? They're both pretty interesting. But I think I like Kakashi's backstory a little bit more than Jiraiya's backstory in this episode. I mean, Jiraiya's backstory is still pretty interesting, but I like Kakashi's better. Probably because I like Kakashi a little bit more than Jiraiya. Like, don't get me wrong, I still love Jiraiya. Jiraiya is an awesome character. He was a great mentor for Naruto. He had a really sad death during his fight with Pain and all that, and he's a pretty funny, perverted character. He's a great, awesome character with an awesome voice and all that. But I think I like Kakashi a little bit more, even though he might not be as funny as Jiraiya. But I think I think I like Kakashi's story better, and I think his personality is more interesting, and his design is a little bit better. But they're both still great characters, though. Among my favorite characters in Naruto. So yeah, I wouldn't say Kakashi's backstory is exactly way better than Jiraiya's in this episode. Jiraiya's was still pretty interesting in the first half of the episode with some pretty funny perverted humor with him. We also get him doing this stupid plan with Orochimaru to try to win over Tsunade or whatever. And we also get Tsunade hanging out with Orochimaru and Jiraiya at the end of the first half. And that's some pretty cool stuff. But then we get to Kakashi's backstory at the second half, and it shows him like as a kid, catching and making fish, and hanging out with his friends, and going to a grave at one scene to visit his dead father. And we get an emotional scene between him and his dead father. And not to mention, there's even a couple of pretty funny scenes of him training with Mike Guy when he was a little kid. Yeah, I thought those scenes were pretty funny, like probably the funniest scenes from Kakashi's backstory of this episode, where we get to see Guy as a little kid in his like little kid voice training with Kakashi. I thought that was pretty funny to see. Yeah, maybe it wasn't as funny as like the perverted humor with Jiraiya the first half, or no, wait, maybe it was. That was probably the funniest part, like the funniest thing in this whole episode, in my opinion. Well, definitely the most emotional thing in the whole episode being that Kakashi and his dad scene that I was just talking about. But yeah, overall, this was a pretty damn solid episode. Had some pretty funny humor, had really good storytelling, and overall, I think I would consider it like so far out of these 4 episodes, Adult Swim's been airing that's been showing like these filler backstories with all these characters like Naruto, Sasuke, etc. This one would probably be my second favorite, with episode 481 being my favorite out of the 4 so far, just because of the Sasuke and Itachi stuff at the first half, even though I don't think the second half of episode 481 is as nearly as good as the second half of episode 483. So yeah, chances are maybe I'd want to take back that opinion. But either way, though, episode 481 and episode 483 are still my 2 favorite episodes of these 4 like filler backstory episodes Adult Swim's been airing so far, since like they showed us the aftermath. Like since after they showed us the aftermath of the stuff that happened after Naruto and Sasuke's epic final battle and all that stuff. And yeah, overall, this was a good episode, and I don't really know what else there is to say. I liked it, and yeah, if you guys want to, you can let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think of this episode? If you've seen it, what do you think of this video? And that's it for this video, you guys. Have a good day, and thank you all for watching this video.